When you think of New Mexico, you probably think of flat, arid terrain, but let me tell you there's a whole lot more to the state. I typically start off my videos saying something like this trip was better than the last, but this time I really mean that. The Enchanted Rockies are a spectacular area with endless views. We saw the most beautiful spots this state had to offer, and fortunately, I was accompanied by my two best overland friends, Bailey and Jack. This is a journey that had been in the making for a long time, and you're not going to want to miss it. From high desert canyons to 12,000-foot mountain passes, New Mexico continues to surprise me. As always, my name is Cody, and this is another episode of the White Dog Overland Experience. Good morning from Santa Fe National Forest. We are about 20 miles north of San Ysidro right now. We got in really late last night, about 11 o'clock. Drove straight 8 hours through from Tucson to get up here. I wanted to get up here immediately so we could get to our next spot quick, which is a really special place. I'm really excited to film this area because it is absolutely stunning. It's called the Valle Caldera, and we're only about 40 miles from it, so we're headed there now. Gonna hop on this road. I think it's FR 460, which is gonna take us north and wrap us around into the caldera, and I got a really nice spot, so I'm gonna hit the road, get up there early, get camp set up early, and hang out. Coming into camp at dark makes for a nice surprise when the sun comes up the following morning. Our journey begins in the high desert at the foothills of the Jemez Mountains 60 miles north of Albuquerque. It wasn't before long until we were in the thickets of Apache pines climbing an elevation from 7,500 feet to 10,500 feet. The scenery was most certainly aesthetic, but I had no idea what views were in store for our day's journey. This trip, I was accompanied by Jack in the 99 Suburban and Bailey in the first generation Tacoma. I can always count on these two guys to make the long trek to other states where we can find terrain that we have yet to experience. Both of their trucks are pushing 300,000 miles, and neither of them flinch at the opportunity to take on a 1,500-mile overland trip. My biggest fear when going deep into the backcountry is mechanical failure, but sometimes you must realize it's all part of the program, and when shit hits the fan, you count on your people to get you out. I like to keep my adventure circle small. That's not to say I won't hit trails with newcomers, but finding the right guys who will consistently get out there means you grow and learn together. It makes for a much smoother experience when your brains start thinking in tandem, and the three of us function really well. Well, this is why I always plan trips months in advance. Because if you don't, you're left guessing where you're gonna camp, and you might not always find an aesthetic spot. And turns out I came through, as always. I always find the good spots. And we're right on the edge of the caldera. There is nobody out here for miles. Miles and miles. We are so far from anything.
We are doing our own fucking thing.
I've been thinking about chorizo and eggs all day, so I had to make it.
I was thinking about my breakfast, but I'm gonna make that tomorrow morning.
Just
What time we try? Are we boogieing out early? Like, how long is our drive?
Yeah, we could get out of here pretty early.
I'm gonna do an easier breakfast and then make a fat breakfast at the next camp.
Yeah.
Logs too.
Oh, yeah.
Loads them as they burn them.
Yep, they're just stacked.
Fire is the best.
It's finally cold enough to have an excuse to have a fire. Tom, since I know you're watching this, check this out. Next time we go camping, where is it? You can really be Rip Wheeler, dude. We can actually do it.
Oh, yeah. He'll probably come out a lot later.
The Valle Caldera takes it as one of my top camp spots of all time. It's a view that can't be compared to much other geography, being an ancient volcano overgrown with blue spruce and bright yellow aspens. I'm not sure how I pulled off the timing of the color change in the aspens, being that I planned this trip months ago, but I'm sure glad I did. The aspens will turn fully yellow to dark crimson and lose their leaves in the matter of a few days, so getting up here at the right time is just about pure luck. I gotta admit, if I die and live the rest of my life with only one skill, it will probably be the skill of finding really badass camp spots. That's why it pays off to do your research, because this was the only spot out here that had that vista out into the caldera, and I'm sure glad we didn't miss it. That was just one epic spot. But now, as time moves on, we must move on to our next spot, and right now we're pushing another 40 miles out of the Valle Caldera range over to Espanola, and from Espanola we're gonna take a trail. It's gonna shoot us up close to Taos and Angel Fire. So we're gonna get a little fuel, put some air back in our tires, got another hour drive, and we'll be back on dirt, so we'll see you then. After a 60-mile drive, we had made it into Carson National Forest. The spot prior had incredible views, but I didn't realize how much more stellar they were going to get. As we started to climb up towards 11,000 feet, the forest grew much more dense and the Rockies were starting to show their true form. I couldn't tell whether or not we were actually still in New Mexico or had crossed the border into the San Juans, but this truly is the same state, and I had no idea New Mexico had this much beauty to offer. There are trails all over this area. They just go everywhere, every which direction.
And then there's another spur trail not far up, and I took it, and it didn't look like anyone was
So it's 4 o'clock and it's already 40 degrees. And on really cold nights like this, I opt not to put up the foot pack. So I'm just gonna be nice and cozy inside this because this fiberglass insulates really well.
better spots I've ever been to.
Oh, that was probably the top on my list.
Very, very damn good spots.
All right, we are done with camp spot number 3. We are headed down out at Carson National Forest at this point. We're moving up north. We're gonna drop down into Angel Fire once we get out of this range, hop on a road that's gonna take us up to Red River.
All good?
Yeah, all good, just talking to the camera real quick. And once we hit Red River, we're gonna mess around there for a while. There's a bunch of trails. I wanna check out that little town, maybe get a bite to eat there or something. It's kind of a town very similar to Silverton or Ouray, just a mountain ski town. And from there, we're gonna get camp set up and enjoy our last night. We are about 10 miles or less from Angel Fire. We're gonna drop down there. I don't think we're gonna need to air up. We're only 35 minutes, so we're not too far. Pretty straight road. Should be fine.
Copy. Like 10 feet off the road.
Well, this is a really neat trail, but it's so tight and it's so steep on both sides. We've had to back down several times to a pull-off just to let other razors and whatnot through. So it's kind of hard to enjoy. I wish I could film this more, but it's a little bit painful. It's a little bit painful to keep stopping and letting people through. And if I put the drone up and we got a big convoy coming at us, it's just not happening.
little stream running over there.
How many razors do you think we saw coming in? Probably at least 40. It's crazy. I know they're out here trying to do the same thing, and people will be like, oh, you're doing the same thing as them, but it's not the same. Nothing about it is the same. All right, well, we're gonna come off this pass. That lake is like nothing I've ever seen. That is just absolutely stunning. I just wish there weren't so many dang people up here, but you know, like I said, they're doing the same thing as us, so can't be mad at them. But I was talking with the other fellas. We were gonna go hit some trails up to the north, but this trail took a lot longer than I expected. It took almost 2 hours to get in here. We're pushing 2 o'clock. What we're thinking, because tomorrow we have a 10-hour drive, is we're gonna cut the drive in half. Tonight, we're gonna go down, hang out near Cibola National Forest. Tomorrow, we'll drive home. This might do it for this video. I'm thinking we're probably gonna get into camp somewhat dark. It's gonna be rather late by the time. It's about 5 hours to where we're headed. It's 2 o'clock now. That puts us at 7. And I really just want to enjoy this last night. But I really hope you all enjoyed this video. As always, it's my pleasure bringing it to you. I just love sharing these trips. Not a lot of people have done the Enchanted Rockies trail and documented it. Lifestyle Overland did. But I wanted to go a little more in depth because I think this area, these Sangre de Cristo Mountains and Carson National Forest and everything else, it's just stunning up here. And there's not a whole lot on it. So I'm hoping y'all enjoyed this. And until next time, don't forget, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.